What's up, everybody? Spartan Overdrive here. Welcome back to Hybridcraft, the Minecraft Let's Play, where we like to do all the things. And last episode, some of the things we did were just flat out wrong, and so I corrected those. Ellie, for some reason, I thought you had pink in your outfit. You surely do not at all. Obviously, these little outfits don't have anything, any kind of resemblance to actual outfits or skins that you guys wear, but I try so hard to make it at least somewhat accurate and resemble the colors, if nothing else. If you're new to the channel or if you missed last episode, you may have no idea what's going on, but basically, last episode we built a bit of a career center. And the reason we did that is because in one of my previous live streams, I had some of you guys on this world right here. We kind of made it a little bit multiplayer. Like I said, we do all the things here, right? So one of those things was let's put it on a server and get some people on here and moved in here. So that's what we did. We invited a few of you guys into the world, and I've got to finish this road still. It looks pretty bad. Anyhoozle, let's mosey on over here to where these guys moved in. And when I say move in, what we did is these houses in the live stream, they need residents. And so what we did is we went ahead and moved some people over here. And this brings us to the topic today of kind of what I want to talk about a little bit. We're going to do a few little things, but what I want to talk about is purpose-built, or purpose building rather. There's a lot of different ways to do that in Minecraft, and what I did here, by the way, just real quickly, can I show you? Yeah, so I put the heads of everybody who moved into the place. So we've got Super Luigi Bro right here, and we've got Ellie living over here, and then we've got Elysian right here. If you missed that video, go back and check it out. I'm not going to go into detail right now. Later, we'll get back to this monstrosity. Nodak came over here and helped us with that a little bit, but yeah, let's talk about purpose builds here and how to go about it. How do you never run out of ideas in Minecraft? Well, I'm gonna help you with that today. This is the community center, and this is how I have decided to build my place. This whole place has kind of evolved over time, this land here. I started out doing something totally different, and I've kind of slowly but surely evolved into this, and a lot of it has been thanks to the help from you guys and the inspiration you guys give me. I truly am enjoying the whole interaction aspect of this game and the multiplayer stuff we've been doing via live streams and via the comments down below. But this is our career center, and this is how I'm giving purpose to my builds. A lot of people will give purpose to their builds because they build something that's necessary in the world, some kind of redstone farm of some sort, which we're going to be doing that as well. But it's really all going to center around characters, and those characters I've decided are going to be you guys in the real world who come into this place, and kind of like the ones that we already have in here. And we'll move you in, give you a little armor stand, give you a place to live, and that's why we need so many houses, because that's kind of how our world is going to progress, kind of sort of like the real world. So you have all these different jobs, all these different things, and I want a business, I guess you could say, or an industry that will define each and every block and give a reason to all the blocks in the world. So we're going to have some place that processes stone, some kind of mine that operates and mines the stone out, right? And then I'm going to need some people that actually work at the mine, and I'm going to have to build them some houses here, and that's going to be the part that takes a little while. But we've talked about that before, but basically these characters develop the world, and that's how I'm doing it. I've not seen that done before. If you guys do that yourself, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. But the cool thing about this is, first and foremost, this build, we did finish it. I only had a few bookshelves before, but I got them all in here. We got a bunch of signs over. This is not the most beautiful build in the world on the interior. It's not great. I'll give you that. It's not great at all, but it serves its purpose. And the purpose for this build is to help me remember all these different things. So you can see I've kind of been showing you here all these different ideas. These builds over here are representative of actual jobs in the world already. These up here have to do with the park over there in that direction. We already have a need for some of these careers. So if you guys want to grab one of these and be one of these people, let me know in the comments below, and we will randomly have to select some people to kind of move into the world and be one of these people. Same thing with this in the agriculture area, and same thing down here with these guys. Now, there are some other areas over here. Luigi actually sent me a link, and you guys actually in the comments and through tweets and different things have been giving me a lot of different suggestions that have been fantastic. And Luigi sent me a link to a website that had a ton of medieval and fantasy type careers and occupations listed on it. So I went ahead and wrote some of those down. We got a lot of room for expansion here, and I didn't get to all of them, but you can kind of see what we got going on here. And here, let me tell you what's so cool about this. There's some stuff on here that I would have never thought of. A cobbler. It makes perfect sense. As soon as I see it, I'm like, yeah, we need a cobble shop, a cobbler. Not a cobble shop. It doesn't make cobblestone. It's a cobbler, if you don't know, makes shoes. And that's a whole career so we could build a building in this world that would be a cobbler shop that actually has somebody, and one of you guys can select if you want to be that person who makes the shoes, and then that guy's going to have a house as well, and all of these different things. And obviously a librarian would be something we'd want, but also a copyist. I never thought about that, but it makes perfect sense. They didn't have printers back in the day. They had to have somebody actually transcribe this stuff and copy it down from book to book, right? And that would have been a really important job back then. Now, some of this stuff is not going to be very realistic because, you know, you play Minecraft the way that makes the most sense to you and that makes it fun for you, right? So we do things a little bit differently, and you guys do some things different than me too, right? And that's okay. But some of the things they suggested on the website aren't on here. Doctor, for example, they had something called healer. Well, doctor is something I'm more familiar with, and I like that term, so I'm going to go with it. Healer probably makes more sense to the world that we're in, but like I said, this is my world. I'm making it whatever I want to be, right? Same thing with the pharmacist. I think they had herbalist, and again, that's not something I'm familiar with, but it makes sense in this world. But I like pharmacists, so that's what we're going to go with. So that kind of gives you guys a little bit of an idea of what we're doing. How do you guys decide to make the builds in the worlds that you make? Do you design things based on your needs? You know, do you do a lot of redstone stuff and then you design a build around that? Or do you do it like me, go by characters? I like the character thing. Used to, my original concept for this world was to have nothing but, you know what, let's go into game mode 3 so I can show you this. And while I'm doing that, we'll finish this train of thought, hopefully. But my original thought for this world was to have a bunch of houses and different things, just like we are. I wanted to build a community. But when I started adding the whole aspect of actual, see, this is already messed up again. We're going to have to fix this. But when I started adding the whole concept of having different characters in the world, it completely changed everything. Now, let's get to what we're talking about here. You guys have seen this in the past already, I know, but I have actually fixed this. And looks like I'm going to have to fix it again. You know what? I fixed this so many times. You know what, guys? I think this is flat out broken. I'm going to have to redesign this. I will get to that in a moment. But in the meantime, let me show you what I did to make this thing work when it does work at least. Look at all these mobs. Holy moly, it's a mob party. Party Central. Good grief. They are going to town. So obviously you can tell it definitely works when it works. We are in that block is why you're seeing water everywhere. But basically, you're only supposed to have the water for a split second, like that very top one works. But somehow the timing gets off every now and then it reverses. And then you have water all the time. This isn't going to work. That's not going to work. But down here, we've got this little corridor where everything flushes into the center. It flushes all these guys this way. And you can see what I did. It took me a minute to figure this out, but it's pretty easy once I did. I just created a wall back there that made everything flow equally in this direction. I tried something else. Anyways, I tried all kinds of things. It did not work at all. I got a lot of lost footage of it, actually. So here's what I came up with down here. Can I kill all these guys? I'm going to kill these guys so I can show you what we're talking about. All right, guys, we have cleared it out, and I'm back in game mode 3 so I can squeeze through these walls and show you what's going on. I have turned the volume down, but I tell you what, I can still hear that click, 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 clack, clack. So let's turn it down all the way. I have not figured out how to make that silent yet. I know it's possible, but I'm still learning this redstone, guys. Forgive me, please. But I have a feeling if you're watching me, you're probably not as familiar with it as some of the technical experts either, since that's not my focus. But I am learning it. I want to have this kind of stuff just so that I can make resource gathering more efficient, and then I can focus more on my builds, which is what I really like to do. But man, I tell you what, it makes me feel real good when I finally get something like this working. If it works, because flipping dadgummit, it's not working. So here's my idea. I thought we were going to be killing mobs of every kind here, right? We can wash them down here. This isn't ideal right here because it's kind of just, it's going to flush the mobs directly into this column, right? So you need something that's going to flush them this way too. But my thought process was these are mobs. They're going to move around and they're eventually going to get flushed down here. And that does happen. So I'm not worried about that so much. If you were trying to transport items, that would be a bad idea. But because they're mobs, they move around and they will eventually get flushed down into this area. Now, my next idea, I thought, may not be the best idea, but I thought it was really unique and fun and might be fun to try to produce something unique that's different than anything I've seen before. Well, now I know why I've never seen it before, because it doesn't work. But my idea was to put these tripwires down here, and when a mob fell down here, they would basically get arrows shot at them. And I have this set up in such a way, let's see, I'm not sure if I can really show it, but you can see all this stuff going on down here. And basically these are filtered in such a way that only arrows will go into these dispensers over here and shoot back out at the mobs, and everything else will get pumped over here, controlled by this timer, and they'll get put into this dispenser here, which will shoot out in this direction, and then my stream will take it all the way. Basically, can we see it from here? I don't know if we can, but basically the idea is it's going to take all of these goodies and it's going to put them in a kind of a centralized location. And I know we're going to do decentralized storage eventually, but until we get to that point, and just for collection purposes only, it's nice to have that stuff in a central area, and then we can kind of filter it out and get it into something that makes a little bit more sense somewhere else. But the first step is to collect the goodies, right? Well, this didn't work because these guys, I thought a mob would drop down here, and the same concept as over here. They're going to move around, right? Because if you just drop down there, you get fired with one arrow, it's not going to kill you, right? And by the way, those arrows we are collecting from the skeletons. So when the skeletons drop an arrow, it gets filtered that way. Everything else that gets dropped gets filtered and pushed out that way. So I thought, oh man, that's an ingenious design. That's going to be cool. We're going to actually use the mobs to kill themselves. That'd be perfect, right? Yeah, it didn't work out that way because, like I said, these skelebobs have dropped down here, and so do all the other mobs, of course, and then they move around, but it doesn't activate this multiple times like I was hoping it would. So that kind of stinks, but my idea for this originated because, one, I thought it was efficient, and two, I wanted to be able to shoot things down low like spiders and baby zombies. So I'm going to have to come up with something different. I thought about a lava blade or something like that, but if you have a lava blade up high, it's not going to get the baby zombies. It's not going to get the spiders that I'm aware of. Maybe it will. I'm going to have to test it out. But that's why I did this. And also, if you have it down low, the lava, it's just going to burn up all your items. You're not going to get any items. So that defeats the whole purpose of this thing, right? So I'm going to have to rebuild this whole stinking thing. For now, I'm probably just going to hop into creative mode and fix it occasionally. See, look at all these guys that we got up here already. We would have a lot of them on all of these. And I don't even have this place lit up that well yet. So for a single player mob farm, I think this is plenty efficient for me. So we'll see, but yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not sure if we'll do it this episode or not, but I kind of want to get this thing sorted out and fixed just so that we can get some kind of collection system. Because right now, it's working to a point, and then it gets down here, and I'm not actually collecting anything. So I would like to get that going so that while we're doing our other builds, we're able to collect some goodies. That's the whole point of this system. Holy smokes, guys, I think I got it. You hear all that racket in there? These guys are dying like crazy. The only problem is witches. I think I need to set my timing a little bit higher for those. But as you can see, I just went back to the old trusty crush chamber, and I actually figured out the redstone all by myself. I didn't even have to look up any tutorials. Can you believe it? And at the same time, I went ahead and fixed this thing here so that you can see the water is flowing in that direction. All you got to do, if you don't know this already, is I just place one block over in that corner, water block, and one source block in this corner, and that causes everything to flow towards the middle. But then obviously it doesn't go as far here, but it's okay because with this crusher system I can just put another source block there and it continues on that direction. No big deal. Hopefully I will have the sounds turned down for you guys. I'll remember to do that. But basically the way we got this thing set up is this little deal right here. Don't ask me how it works, it just does. I kind of know just enough to figure this out, but basically we've got a 2x3 piston extender on this side, and then same thing on this side. And I've got a timer, a hopper timer right there, and all I got to do is just add a few more blocks to that to delay that a little longer, and that way we can get these guys over here crushed a little bit longer, because apparently their potions keep them alive longer than they need to. But yeah, anyways, this goes down here and does all this. I'm not really sure how else to explain it other than that. And then over here, this is just a normal clock. This is the loud mechanism. All of this stuff goes into a dispenser down below this, and then that pops up into this one. And I did extend this over this way just a little bit because it was back here originally, and I didn't want this redstone to interfere with this. Again, I'm kind of new and I'm not sure, so I figured it'd be better to play it safe than sorry. So we did that, and we pushed it this way, and it goes way down here. Let's transform ourselves over this direction, shall we? And if you want to know where it goes, this is where it goes, along this path. And you can see it's all piled up here. Uh-oh, it looks like we've lost a little bit. We mean to put a full block. Well, we can't put a full block because then the chest won't open. I'll figure that out. That's no big deal. In fact, I don't even need that chest to open, so that's no big deal. And then this is right below our, right up there, that is our storage area beneath the blacksmith, which I'm probably going to extend this a little further and build an actual storage area out here beside it somewhere, like a community center. I think I've talked about that in a stream before. But anyways, let's check this out and see what we ended up with while we're over here. What am I doing down so low? Let's see where we are. So I haven't even been running this hardly at all, just while I was working on it. And man, I've already got 62 gunpowder. That is stinking awesome. That's surprising. That's the main stuff we're after right there. So obviously this and this and this, some of these things were just dropped in there because while I was working on it, we dropped a few items in. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this, because this is really going to make the gunpowder collection so much easier. So all I got to do now is build some sort of elevator situation, and then we'll have this whole setup pretty much finished. So yeah, I'm going to have to probably redo this one day, but because like I said, this system here keeps breaking on me. I don't know why. It's driving me crazy, but I've got it working right now, and it's kind of like those animations that we have. They break all the time on us too. I think that's a chunk loading thing, but we will in time figure that out, hopefully. If you guys have any suggestions or ideas, please let me know. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it. All right, guys, a couple of things here before we move on. I went ahead and put up this trap door here to keep the items from shooting over, but that wasn't the real issue. I believe the real issue was that so many items came through so quickly that the hopper couldn't keep up. So I put 2 more hoppers behind it feeding into it, and I think that'll help out quite a bit. And if there is any overflow, it'll hit the trap door here, and then eventually get sucked down in there when it catches up. I've only got these 2 chests, so you know we're gonna have to expand this quite a bit and add an elevator at some point. But for now, that will work. If you guys were wondering why I had some spawn eggs on me a minute ago, that was just so I could test the system out a minute ago. I wanted to see if the crusher system worked. I kind of use this as my test world. And anyways, you guys know how I do. I do have some bad news though. This crusher system doesn't appear to work at all for witches. I've extended the time quite a bit, and it seems like the witches are able to regenerate their health as fast as the crusher system takes it away from them. So I'm hoping that we can figure out a way around that. But if not, at least for now, I'm probably just gonna have to never get any witch drops. I don't know. For future plans for this build, I think spiders climb the wall still, so I think I'm gonna put some water flowing down each wall. You know how I don't really know how I'm gonna make that work yet, to be honest, but because they're gonna have to hit somewhere down at the bottom. I don't know, that may not be a great idea. Maybe I can just push it back by 1 all the way around, which I'll have to do quite a bit later if I ever fix this. So I don't know. For now it works. If you guys have any ideas how to make this system work with the witches, please let me know. You know what? We're so close to finishing this thing up. Why don't we go ahead and finish it up? I've gone ahead and extended this down a few more blocks because we're now going to be under an area that I'm going to use as a centralized storage as I build my world up. And I think it's going to help us out. We'll do some sorting and some fun stuff up there. I'm learning this redstone. I'm making it happen, guys. I knew I could do it. So anyways, the next step is something, I don't remember if it is a hopper or a dropper. I think it's actually a dropper we're supposed to use. I think, yeah. I think it's a dropper. So let's try that. We're going to make an item elevator. This is super easy. I'm sure everybody who's watching this has done this already, but if you have not, you can follow along and watch me make some mistakes probably, but hopefully not. We're going to put a comparator down here, and then we're going to bust that open. I'm not sure. This might need to be, you know what, that might need to be an air block there maybe. I don't know. I think actually the way item elevators work, you're supposed to hardly have any air blocks at all. So I'm actually thinking maybe it's supposed to be one of those filled in. There we go. Yeah, so that popped it up right there. I already had something in there. I didn't realize it. So good. So now all we got to do is fill these in. And if you guys aren't aware, some people kind of know what you know about these item elevators, but you don't know why they work the way they work. And I think that kind of stuff is interesting. So watch what happens if I throw this in. Nothing at all, of course. What's going on? Why is it not working? All right, let's see what the deal is. Aha! I have decided to forego the last setup because of those stinking observer blocks. I've been having such a hard time with them, and it wasn't working out for me. I'm sure I was doing something simple very wrong, but this is what I came up with instead. I got this from Iskal. I couldn't quite figure it out myself, but it makes total sense now that I see it. You've got a comparator here that detects the signal that comes out of this when there's an item in it. And then it goes into a repeater here that powers that block. And then you come back here and that just creates a loop and a timer, kind of like we did in a few places back there. And at the same time, it powers this redstone here, powers this, and powers this again. So it creates its clock right here as well and shoots the stuff up. So the other thing I was going to mention, and you guys may be well aware of this, but some of you guys might be as new to it as I am. And I wanted to point out why this works the way it works. If you ever set a block down, let's see if we can do this. I'm not sure if it's going to let us, but let's see if we can toss out a few blocks right here. Okay, it is going to let us. And if you place a block where those are, they're going to automatically pop up towards the top. And in this case, they're kind of popping back into the hoppers here and then feeding the whole machine. But basically, that's a way to keep from, it's a design in the game that prevents you from losing items when you do that. So if you have loose items in the ground or on the ground and then you place a block on top of it, they're automatically going to pop up towards the top of that block that you place or out to the side up to like just one block radius or something like that. That's why when we pump this in, we're exploiting a game mechanic, which like I said, it's to basically prevent you from losing your items when you place blocks down on top of loose items. Instead of deleting them, it just pops up above it. Makes total sense, and some genius figured out, man, we could actually purposely pump blocks or items into blocks like that, and they're just going to keep going up and then up and then up until it gets to an air pocket. And so that's what we're going to do. When it gets to the top, we're going to create an air pocket at the top, the first air pocket it gets to, which is hopefully the very surface of the world. And at that point, we will set up another hopper system to capture those again, or a water stream or something like that, and then pump those into some chests to store. And that's how these things work. That's how you're able to get stuff from bedrock down here all the way up to the top of your world by exploiting a simple little game mechanic. Pretty cool. All right, now we've got this stuff up to the top here, and oh my goodness, what a beautiful build I've made for this here. I'm really digging the design, the obelisk column here, and the very industrial feeling of all this going on here. And basically, I'm just messing with you guys. This is temporary. Oh my goodness, ugliest thing I've ever seen. But the idea for the rest of the stuff in this world is we're going to have purpose-built things like this, and then we will build something around it. And of course, like I said, we are combining that along with the characters. So we will have somebody that will work in this place as well, maybe several people, because this is a bit of a, what did we call this area? It's kind of like a town hall community center or something. And we're also obviously going to use it to store things as well. So yeah, so anyways, the way this works is this is an extension from what is down below. Can I get up here, please? Thank you. And so all this is the item elevator top, and everything pops up here. And when it gets to the top, it's just going to go into this hopper, and it's going to feed into this thing, and then it's go all the way down all of these things here until it gets to this very bottom one, and then we can sort through this, and whatever we decide we do not want anymore, which may not be, yeah, I'm not sure if we'll use it that much for here, but I wanted to set it up just in case to see if I could. Super easy. We got a hopper going down to another dropper, facing into some lava. Right now it's locked, but as soon as I unlock it, do I want to waste this to kind of show you guys how this works? I'm not going to do it. You know how it works. As soon as I flip this lever, it's going to unlock this hopper, pump it down into this dropper here, and then we're going to burn everything up in the lava right there. So that is how that's going to work. Obviously, we're not going to do that unless we get a bunch of stuff like rotten flesh that I don't need and stuff like that. There's somewhere to use every item in the world, but eventually in a single player world, you get more than you need really, and so that's going to be our little trash compactor. But at some point, we will build a facility around this, but I'm not going to do that yet because I still need to expand this quite a bit so that we can have a larger area here to sort these things out into their respective categories and respective items. And then I'm going to do the same thing over there, and that's where this lava pit's going to come in better, is when I AFK fish, I get a bunch of mess that I don't need. We get all these fishing rods and other items that I just get way too many. You don't need them at all. So as I collect those, we will use the trash bin over there quite a bit. So all I need to do now is connect up our fishing shack there and all the goodies we get from that. Oh, hey guys, you caught me doing a little bit of fishing over here. I think we've got our entire connection system all plugged in now. I'm feeling pretty good about it, but as you can see over here, everything looks pretty normal. We've gotten rid of our trap door. I no longer have access down below. We'll have to go into game mode 3 to check that out in a minute, and I'll reinstall that later. But all of our chests down here are missing, with the exception of these just for decoration. And used to, we had all of our reeds come into a chest right there. All of our fish farm area come into chest right here. Now, let me go into game mode 3 so I can show you what I did. Pretty simple stuff. We use, right here, we've got, right below here is our fish farm. As soon as we catch something in the fish farm here, it gets absorbed by this hopper, sucks it down, and the hopper takes it into the dropper, and the dropper spits it down into this river stream based on this timing clock here. Now this is pretty loud, but fishing was kind of loud to begin with, so I just turned my volume down like I always did, no big deal. But yeah, this stream comes over here, falls down into another stream and goes this way, and as it goes that way, we've got one more that joins it right here. So this hopper is, or dropper is connected to these hoppers, which grab all the reeds from our reed farm over here, as you can see right there, and then follow this stream this way, and it's going to come down here and fall down this really long corridor, this hole right here, and it's going to go right into, you guessed it, the original stream that we set up with this over here earlier from our mob farm. Now the mob farm again is, well, it's still working pretty good because we still got quite a bit of mobs lined up. They can't wait to take their turn in the death trap. And I think, by the way, I think that the witches are dying now somehow. I'm not sure why or what the difference is, but I don't know, I've done a lot of testing and I never saw a witch die, but I did collect a few bottles and other stuff that witches would drop. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll work on that. If you guys have better ideas, let me know. But as you can see, we've got some errors here, some timings. A couple of these things are messed up, so we're gonna have to redesign this to get away from these observer blocks, I think. I don't know, you guys help me out. If you know the answer or the solution, tell me what it is, please. But I know a design that I came up with in my very own brain head that I think I can put in here that might work a little bit better, and it won't depend on these things. And then I think the other thing I want to do is I want to decorate this. I don't have a way down here anymore, so I need to put a path down here, like a service tunnel or something. But also, I want to deck this thing out. I want everything in the world to have some kind of decor that is a little bit cool. I don't want it just to be plain Jane like this. You know what I'm saying? So we may come back and redo this, but I've been spending a lot of time over here, so I'm not going to. I may, just to be honest with you guys, transparent, occasionally I'm probably going to come down here in creative mode and make this thing work. All I got to do is basically put a block down there and put the water bucket back in there. It's just, like I said, this isn't anything I've done wrong that I'm aware of. It's just something's wrong with these observers, and the timing gets off, so I don't have a problem fixing that up like that occasionally. I may do that until I get this thing fixed permanently, at least. So let's follow this down. Now, I mentioned how I might design that eventually so that it looks cool, right? I actually have a fun idea to design these water pathways as well. The thing is, I don't know if I want to do it because I don't know if you guys really care about that. But I don't know. I think I might eventually just to kind of show you what my idea is. But again, no one's ever going to see it, so I don't know how important it is. I just like the idea of every square inch of this world being decorated up and really cool. So you can see right here is where these things raise up. We showed you this earlier, nothing special about it. The only thing that I really want to emphasize here that I love about this and want to encourage you guys, if you are all builders like me, I know a lot of you are, a lot of you got some redstone experience, and if you can help me out, please do. But if not, hopefully I've shown you some things that help you out. Yeah, if you don't do redstone, I encourage you to do it because what this is doing for me is providing me the ability to build more. And I'm so excited about that. Basically, we got 3 farms in one right there. Everything's collecting right over here for us, and I don't have to do anything except come get it. Look at all this stuff. And I tell you what, there's a lot more than this, but I made a goofy little mess up over there. When I was working on that thing, I busted these boxes up, and I threw all the loot into the stream. It made it over here just fine, but when I got over here, I realized that I had placed one of these hoppers wrong. It was facing the wrong direction, so most of the stuff despawned. I lost a lot of goodies. But that's okay because the main thing is it's working now. It doesn't take any time at all just to go over there and do some AFK while I'm in bed, IRL. But anyways, yeah, the good thing about this and the reason I'm going to keep doing this, it is so useful and helpful to allow me to have the materials I need to do building a lot better and a lot faster, and I can spend less time collecting this stuff and more time actually putting up the content that I enjoy building our community out here. So yeah, that's what's so great about it. And then, so the next step, guys, the next step is going to be just as cool as this. We're not going to do it anytime soon. Don't worry. We're going to get right back into building very, very soon. But the next step on this thing is organize this in some way. And that's just to make it less work on me, because previously I was taking shulker boxes over here, loading them up, bringing them over here, organizing it. Well, we've cut out the step of taking the shulker boxes over there. We don't have to go get the materials anymore. They come to us. We're making the game work for us. We're making redstone our slave. We are taking it to the next level, guys. That next level is to organize this stuff automatically, so we don't have to do that anymore. And all we got to do is just go collect some shulker boxes that will hopefully be preloaded with the building materials we want, and then go out into the world and build whatever it is that we want to build. So I think just to kind of test the waters, what I will do next is we've got this little area over here, and I've mentioned this before, so if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry, but we've got this this area here. It's just a little like a lemonade stand sort of situation for all of our potions for the magic drink shop here, but we're going to build a factory back here behind it that will actually organize everything from over there. We'll ship the stuff, transport it over here underground somehow, and have it pop up over here. And then we will organize it better here, and then have an automatic brewing station and all that good stuff over here. Get a little bit of engineering going on, guys. What do you think about that? This will be our centralized, central hub, and then it will automatically export stuff all over the world wherever it belongs that makes the most sense, such as this potion brewing area right here. If you like this video, let me know with a like and a comment below. If you're new to the channel, I'd love for you to check out some of the fun stuff we get up to. There should be links on the screen to a couple videos I think you'll enjoy. Check them out, and if you like what you see, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and the bell as well so you don't miss a thing. My name is Spartan Overdrive. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep it creative.